Afternoon and welcome to session which is an introduction to the new higher applications of mathematics. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we make a start. I'm sure that most of you will be familiar with the slide you can see on screen now. So I'm just going to highlight a few points. Firstly, just to confirm that the session is being recorded and will be available after the event. Can I ask you to make sure that your microphone and your camera are turned off, just to protect the bandwidth and prevent any background noise interference. The chat pane is available and can be seen by everyone. You can use that to ask a question or to post a comment, and you can also use that to communicate any technical issues. We do have Speakeasy support with us today. You can also use the support chat function, which is in the portal. And finally, if you lose connection, don't panic, just come back in following the joining instructions. So we're just about to get started now, and I hope you enjoy the session this afternoon. Oh, we've lost the slides, Iona. You just bear with us for a minute till we get the slides back in view. Just while Iona's doing that, I'll just introduce myself and my colleagues. My name's Nanette Brotherwood, and I'm joined this afternoon by Iona Coates and Stephen Shields. We are education officers for numeracy and mathematics with Education Scotland, and all have a secondary background. This afternoon, we're going to share some background information about the new higher applications course, and also share with you the progress that's been made so far and future plans that are in place to support the introduction.
Sorry, Nanette, the slides are just taking a while again. Appears I lost control.
You lost control.
I lost control.
We are using PowerPoint Live this afternoon, and it will pop up again shortly. You should be able to click on any links that appear on the slides because we're using PowerPoint Live. So there are a few links, and if you click on the screen, that should take you directly through. So just waiting for the slides to come back up because I can't talk about the accessibility without being able to see them.
If it causes too much of a problem, I'll just go back to traditional sharing if need be, and I'll just share a window, but we'll give it one more go because it is worth being able to click on the links.
Yep.
It's just taken ages, so apologies everybody. It's nearly there.
This is when Stephen does a dance.
Or we could do some interactivity. If everybody clicks the three dots at the top of the screen, they'll be able to see the accessibility options. There we go. Hopefully,
there we go.
Don't click anything. Don't click anything. Just let's go.
Please don't wrest control from me, anyone.
Yeah. Okay. So, this slide is really just to share with you some of the accessibility features that are available when we're using PowerPoint Live. So you should see underneath the slides that there are numbers and arrows. So that allows you to flick through the slides. So if you've missed something, you can go back, and that won't impact on anybody else, any other attendees' view of the presentation. If you click on the three dots beside those arrows, then that gives you the option to view the slides in high contrast. And if you click beside the 3 dots on the bar at the top, beside the video icon, then that gives you the drop-down menu, which is there in the centre of the screen. And that allows you to use the full screen or zoom option, which just takes away some of the bars round about and gives you a better view, or indeed to turn on the live captions. And we will try to ensure that we speak as clearly as possible so that that actually matches what we're trying to say. And finally, we will be using the chat function for most of the session. However, we hope to have a bit of time at the end of the session for some questions. And at that point, we'll invite you to use the hands up function. So I don't need this slide now because I've already introduced us. The only point to note there is that the email address is at the bottom of the slide. So if you want to contact us about anything we discussed today, or if you want to contact the team in general, then you can use the email address at the bottom of the slide. And again, I think I've shared what we plan to do today. So I'll just give you a minute to have a look at the aims before we move on and get started. Okay, so there has been a recognition that higher mathematics doesn't cover all the aspects of the subject, focusing in areas such as algebra and calculus that are crucial for further study and work in science, technology, engineering and other mathematical disciplines. In particular, the fields of statistics and probability, finance and mathematical modelling did not contribute significantly to any national qualification beyond SCQF level 5. Despite the fact that these skills have become more and more important. So in response to this, the SQA put together a proposal to introduce a new qualification to address this need and to provide progression from National 5 applications of mathematics. So in 2019, following a positive consultation process, they drew together a qualification design team with representation from schools, from further and higher education, from industry and from Education Scotland to develop a brand new course. Documentation was published in June 2020 and the first cohort of candidates is following the course this session. Throughout this course, there's an opportunity for learners to develop new mathematical skills and understanding, but the emphasis is on enhancing candidates' critical and logical thinking, so that they're able to interpret, analyse and critically appraise statistical and mathematical information. There's also a real focus on the use of technology throughout the course. So much of the higher applications of mathematics content is not within the teaching experience of most maths teachers in Scotland. It's got real similarities with core maths in England, but there's a recognition that there would be a need for targeted professional learning. So the University of Strathclyde was supported by Scottish Government to offer 2 upskilling modules at no cost to teachers. So far there's been a terrific uptake. The STARTS course will be running again from October, so if you're interested in applying to join the course, please email the address. I think it's the second one on the slide at the bottom. The first one is information on the modelling course. The SQA provides the necessary descriptions for all national qualification courses, and all the course information for applications of mathematics courses from National 3 through to higher can be found on the course pages alongside support materials from the SQA. These include specimen question papers and the course specifications. The course specification explains in detail the rationale for its implementation, and I think this quote just sums it up quite nicely. So the Higher Applications of Mathematics course focuses on developing the mathematical and analytical skills required in society and for the future workforce. The course develops candidates' quantitative and mathematical literacy, problem-solving skills and reasoning skills as they apply mathematics in real-life contexts. The spec also outlines the detailed content of the course, such as the examples here in the slide, linked to finance and to statistics. It also outlines the course assessment structure and how that's broken down. The course assessment reflects how this course differs from more traditional hires. There are, oh, we've gone again.
I think somebody's taking
Iona.
control. Somebody's taking control. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this traditionally, so I'm not going to do PowerPoint live.
Okay. What we'll try to do is post any of the links in the following slides into the chat as we go along. So, looking at the course assessment, as I said, it reflects how this course differs from more traditional hires. There's a 2.5-hour final exam, but also a statistical project, and the project counts for 30 marks out of the 110 marks available in total. A second specimen paper was published in June 2021, and like the original, there's a mixture of written questions, tasks which involve the use of a spreadsheet, and tasks which require the use of statistical software. So quite a departure from the traditional maths exam. The statistical project is carried out under controlled rather than exam conditions, and then it's sent away for external marking, and that contributes to the overall grade. Exemplar project solutions can be found in the SQA's Understanding Standards site, with commentaries explaining the standard of work expected at this level. SQA will also be holding Understanding Standards events during 21-22, so it's well worth looking out for these dates. So we are now supporting 3 geographical working groups for practitioners, and these provide discussion forums, a support network, and collaboration on the creation and quality assurance of resources. You'll see there that we've grouped together the Northern Alliance with Tayside, the South West and the South East, and finally the Forth Valley with the West Partnership. These working groups are proven to be an invaluable professional learning and support community for practitioners. And if there is anyone attending today that's not currently part of one of the groups, but who is delivering or hoping to deliver the course, then please just drop a note to the email address I shared earlier, and we will add you to the appropriate group. We've also had a number of meetings with further education and higher education colleagues to raise awareness of the new qualification and its benefit, with a view to a shared understanding to support that transition between school and college or university. We're working with SDS to update the My World of Work website and to raise awareness with SDS advisors. We're also working with the National Parent Forum of Scotland to highlight the benefits of this pathway to parents and to carers. I'm going to pass across to Iona now, who's going to take you through the next part of the presentation.
Thanks very much, Nanette. So we've also been working quite closely with Scholar, which is a non-profit organisation that is working together with practitioners and experts in the field to be able to create resources to support learners within the senior phase. It's a partnership between Heriot-Watt University and the Directors of Education in Scotland, and the Education Authorities pay an annual subscription, and the forum really provides these high quality web-based courses for a virtual college support network for learners. Education Scotland has worked together with the Scottish Government and Scholar to ensure that there is a full range of interactive learner resources now available for both National 5 and higher applications of maths. The materials on Scholar really comprise extensive notes for the learners, some worked examples, some interactive tasks and quizzes, and any teacher who has access to Scholar, in particular the mathematics materials, can also now access the applications of maths materials, regardless of or not of whether they're actually teaching applications of maths this year. So again, if we've got practitioners with us who are considering teaching this course in the coming years, then we would really recommend that you have a look at the resources available on Scholar in preparation for teaching the course later on in your career. We've also been working as a group with a fantastic group of employers, and these some of them are on the screen at the moment. We've been working with them to create a suite of resources that are aimed explicitly at learners who are working on applications of maths, primarily at higher, but also at National 5. So together with us, the employers are producing a series of short tasks that give learners a chance to apply what they've learned. We've also helped produce some multimedia resources that include information about a variety of industries. And we've also planning a number of larger tasks that bring together skills from right across the course. We're also collecting together a number of video testimonials from workers within these employer agencies, and that really just getting them to explain just some of the many ways that maths and its applications are playing a vital role in the 21st century workplace. They're also explaining a bit about how they got into their jobs. Now, this work is quite similar to the work that's happening in Maths Week Scotland, which is the Show Your Working campaign. But these particular videos have a more focused approach on looking at the higher applications level work. We have to absolutely say a huge thank you to our developing young workforce colleagues here at Education Scotland and the contacts within the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce, because they helped us make these contacts with some of these organisations. But the employer group continues to grow. We've got, we hope, Network Rail coming on as well. So we're looking for employers from a wider range of industry sectors. So again, if there's anybody on the call who has contacts in the companies that they think might be interested in joining this project, we would really encourage you to get in touch with us. Part of our thinking on this project is also that as we put together a bank of resources from these larger national employers, then schools themselves can go through any existing and new employer partnerships that they might have locally, and they might be able to develop some similar resources for their more local context. So I'm going to share with you next a video from one of our employer partners, that's SSE Renewables, and one of the engineers and, well, mathematicians on the team there, Connell, who very kindly did us a video explaining his interesting journey into work. And now that I've shared in a different way, I'm really hoping that this is actually going to play. So Nanette, maybe you can just let me know if the sound doesn't play on this video.
We're not getting any sound, Iona.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly stop sharing and start sharing again. Hopefully, this time it will work.
But when I finished school, I had no idea.
Perfect this time.
Hi, my name's Connell, and I'm a lead data engineer at SSE Renewables, a company that own and operate renewable electricity sites. And I don't think I would have the job today if I didn't study maths after school. But when I finished school, I had no idea what I wanted to do with myself. I like the idea of maths because it's used in so many different industries that kept a lot of doors open. So I went off to do an undergraduate for 4 years and then did an applied maths master's, where I was introduced to how maths can be used to model financial activity, brain activity, environmental activity, lots of interesting sectors. But I still didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself, so I moved to India and took a job making maths, software, and games and animations. In that year, I realised what I really wanted to do longer term was commit to the world of sustainability and renewable electricity. So I came back to Glasgow and took a PhD in wind energy in the University of Strathclyde's engineering department. Following that, I got a great job with the Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult, where I got really involved in how data and digital systems are being used across the renewable sector. I did that for 7 years and managed to grow a data and digital team with data scientists and data engineers. For the last year, I've now been with SSE Renewables in their digital ventures team. I've got a great job where I get to play with best in class new technology coming to the renewable sector. Technologies such as machine learning, digital twins, and cloud architecture. My team are responsible for trying all of these new technologies and bringing the best ones to our renewable sites so that we can improve and be more efficient. I would highly recommend maths to anyone considering it as an option for school or going on to college or university for many different reasons. First of all, as I've already said, it opens many doors and is used in lots of different industries. Second of all, it provides you with this logical approach to solving problems. And even though today I don't use all the detailed maths that I picked up at university, I feel like I can. The maths degree really encouraged me to be a lot more organized and address problems in a systematic way that can be applied in so many different ways. The final thing I'll say is that in my maths degree, I was forced to do a bit of coding, which at the time I didn't really enjoy too much, but now I see it as something of a superpower. When you can use a software language to make a computer do some advanced things with data and solve very large problems, you can do great things. So please consider maths. I learned a lot in my degree, and I still use enough of it today, and it's set me up for this amazing job I have just now in the digital ventures team in SSE Renewables. Bye.
So this is just one of the videos that we are encouraging our employer partners to put together, and we're obviously very grateful to Connell and other colleagues for putting together those videos. Just another couple of resources that are available before I move on to Steve, and we'll take you on to a few other things. There's just a nod towards the national e-learning offer as well. I don't know if any of you were in the session yesterday that was describing how the national e-learning offer has really developed and grown over the last year and a half. But one thing that's very true is that West OS has provided a lot of resources available for teaching and learning, and a real opportunity to share these resources. We have been able to include higher applications on West OS, and we're very grateful to Callum from eSchool, who is also, again, teaching higher applications of maths online to learners from, I think, about 8 different schools. He is teaching it online through eSchool, and all his resources that he's produced for eSchool are available to teachers across Scotland on West OS. Currently, it's the finance section that's there, and he's going to be adding to that throughout the year. So definitely worth checking that out as well if you are teaching the course currently. Another really exciting development is the collaboration that we've been able to work with Edina from the University of Edinburgh to get RStudio onto the Glow platform. RStudio is one of the options for statistical software that can be used within the course. And we really do have to thank James and his team at Edina for making this resource available to learners across Scotland on the Glow platform. So instead of software needing to be installed onto individual learners' computers or school computers, and all the accessibility and technical issues that can arise from that, learners can access the software they need via any internet browser, and all they need is their GLOW login. There is a bit of paperwork that needs to be done by each local authority if they want their learners to get access to this. And there is a link to a blog on this slide that will take you to the DigiLearn blog site, which has the information that you need if your local authority would like to take advantage of this really exciting collaboration. So I'm going to hand over now to Steve, who's going to take you through the remainder of the slides, and I'll just pass over to him now. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Iona. Thank you. So as you can see, folks, we're running a virtual conference for the Higher Applications of Maths, Saturday 6th of November from 9:30 till noon. And it's an opportunity for those of you delivering, hoping to deliver or support the qualification in schools to hear from our employer partners and how they're supporting the course at a local and national level. Edina at the University of Edinburgh on an update on how what they're doing with Notable, and also departments around the country on their experiences in delivering the course so far. It'd be great to see you there, and if you feel that there's anything that you could share with practitioners across Scotland, you can let us know on the sign up. That's an option if you'd like to support us or just come along. It would be great to see you. Thanks very much, Iona. Just moving on now, we do have a national professional learning community within GLOW, where you can find key documents from Education Scotland, such as the benchmarks and E's and O's. Also, they have a learning and teaching assessment section, where you will see resources from ourselves and also links to activities and websites to support learning and teaching assessment in general in the class. And importantly for today, you'll see a tile there, support for national qualifications. Within that tile, you'll see that we have a specific tile for resources for applications of mathematics. And again, if you click within there, you'll see links to our scholar materials, which support learning and teaching. Thanks, Iona. And also links to activities and resources to support specific aspects of the course. And that's all available within our professional learning community, which you can access through GLOW. Thanks, Iona. Thank you very much for attending today. Short section from me. Thanks also to Nanette and Iona for helping out, and to our colleague from Education Scotland and Speakeasy with their technical support in the background. We're really keen to hear from you. Our website is there, mathematics@educationscotland.gov.scot. And also we've got some time just now, so if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the chat, or as Nanette said, use the hand up function. Thank you very much.
There was a question in the chat about getting access to RStudio on GLOW. I would just reiterate that it is there is an agreement that has to be made. It's a relatively straightforward one. It's the fact that the GLOW logins need to be shared with University of Edinburgh in order to make the platform work. And that's why there has to be a sort of data sharing agreement between the local authorities and the University of Edinburgh. So all the information you need is on the blog. That I think, Yvonne, thanks very much. I think you put the link to that. Yep, just if you scroll up in the chat, you'll see the link to that. And that just gives details of the paperwork and the sort of paperwork that the local authorities GLOW key contact has to go through just to get it switched on. Once it is switched on for your local authority, then learners will be able to find the tile and then just simply click onto it and off they go, and they have access to RStudio via their browser. So it's a real game changer, I think, for learners being able to be, particularly to study independently and not have to download the software onto their own machines. Yeah, I think it is a deal breaker or game changer. I think being able to use RStudio there are other software options available on higher applications. It doesn't need to be RStudio, but having discussed with our employer partners, there's so many of them do use R as their statistical software. So it is an industry standard, and it's absolutely brilliant if some learners are able to get access to using that and get some experience of using that at school for the world's work, but also for study at university and college. Again, courses that do require some statistical analysis using software, a lot of them do use R as well, so it's a great experience for learners if they can get that at school. Don't know if there are any other questions. I should also say there is a PDF version of these slides. If you would like a copy of that for the links, then please do just drop us an email. The email's on the screen at the moment. Drop us an email and we'll send you the PDF with all the links. So yeah, there's a... Sorry, carry on, Annette.
I was just going to say, I see there's another question come up in the chat there, or a comment is about the statistical content. And that is certainly an area that we've recognised it would be really useful for. We're working hard with our partners at the moment to meet with admissions advisors and discuss make them aware of the qualification. And so we are hopeful that as time moves on, this will be recognised. Anything that anybody can do to get that out there amongst their colleagues, if there is anybody here this afternoon from HE or FE, then that would be much appreciated. Next question is from Jamie. I have put that question to SQA and they are going to get back to me about it, and if you are a member of any of our working groups, we'll certainly share that information through the working groups.
Thanks, Jamie, for that question. So I should also say that the employer resources will be shared both through our website and through the working groups as well. So we really would recommend anyone who is teaching the course this year or next, I'm hoping to teach it next year, please do join one of our working groups. And it's just a great way to share experiences, challenges, solutions, and also do a bit of quality assurance of resources as well. And it's very healthy discussion that's going on in these groups at the moment, so please do join one of them.
There are also lots of questions coming up, which were impossible to envisage before people have actually started the experience of delivering the course. So I think practitioners are finding it really useful just to have that forum to be able to post the question and know that somebody else in the group might either be having the same problem or might in fact actually have a solution to it. We obviously keep an eye on that and try to answer when we can, but actually often the answers come from practitioners themselves as they are becoming the experts in delivery.
Okay, we will stay on for a little while to answer any questions that you have. However, once again, I'd like to thank my colleagues Nanette and Iona, and also Sushil and Aaron as well for the support. If you want to ask any questions to us that you bring up yourself, that's absolutely fine. We'll be here. Otherwise, once again, thank you very much for your time and thanks for attendance.